all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you shall return to his family. That 50th year shall be a jubilee to you. In it you shall neither sow nor reap what grows of its own accord, nor gather the grapes of the untended vine. For it is the jubilee, it shall be holy to you. You shall eat its produce from fields. That passage ushers in to what we are celebrating. This year, traditionally in the church, a quarter of century, the 25th year has been the year of Jubilee. Since when? Since the time of Pope Alexander VI, the year 1500. That is when he started the Jubilee to be celebrated every 25 years. And as we have read or heard, the word Jubilee is coined from the horn, the ram's horn, your bell. That will be, you'll be willed. It will usher in the year of Jubilee. So your bell, the ram's horn, is the root or the stem from which we have the name Jubilee. Your bell. Your bell. So the scripture that we have read, the scriptural passage that we have read, talks of the 50th year. It shall be the year of Jubilee. But I have told you, it has been celebrated since the 1300 years or year. We have been, the church has been celebrating the Jubilee. It started with 100 years, it went to 50 years, and by the time of Alexander VI, the Pope, then it went down to 25 years. So it is a jubilee, and it is a year prescribed for freedom for the slaves and the restoration of the land. Jubilee is a time to establish, actually it is to re-establish a proper relationship with God, with one another, and with the whole of creation. In the New Testament, we have part of this passage, Luke chapter 4, verse 18 and 19, where Jesus says, "The Spirit of the Lord has been poured, or has anointed me, to do this in the earth, to proclaim liberty to captives, and to announce the year of the Lord." The year of the Lord. So, Jubilee is the year of the Lord. It doesn't mean that the other years are not years of the Lord, but in a special way, it is the year dedicated for restoration and the establishment of right relationship with God, with one another, and with the whole of creation. So, the word restoration, the word freedom, the word re-establishment, those terms would echo something, and we should do something about them during this year of the Jubilee. Now, it is the ordinary Jubilee because there have been extraordinary Jubilee years. So, this is the ordinary. Ordinary means it is done. Even if it is ordinary, then we had one when we were in the year 2000, and the other one coming is in the year, will be in the year 2050. 2050, we will be having another ordinary Jubilee. But there have been other extraordinary Jubilees, like the one we had in 2016. The year 2016 was an extraordinary Jubilee, of mercy. Pope Francis gave us an extraordinary Jubilee of mercy. In 1983, Pope, now Saint John Paul II, had given us the year of an extra Jubilee of 50th year of Jesus' death and resurrection. So, we are not sure whether we will have one in the year 2033, because we conventionally say that Jesus died at 33 years. So that's why we can say that year is when the Paschal mystery was done by our Lord Jesus Christ. So we will not be surprised if there will be such a year of an extraordinary Jubilee come the year 2033. So, Pope Francis, last year, when announcing to the whole church about this year of Jubilee, told us that we will concentrate on hope. It will be a Jubilee on hope. On what? On what? On hope. It will be a Jubilee on hope. That is why he gave us a biblical passage from Romans chapter 5, verse 5. That hope does not disappoint, St. Paul would say, because the love of God has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit that was given to us. Kwa hivyo tumaini halihadai, kwa maana upendo wa Mungu umemiminiwa mioyoni mwetu kwa Roho Mtakatifu tuliopata wakati wa ubatizo. Kwa hivyo in Kikuyu we say mwihoko tulagala todo wendo wa Ngai na wendo wa Ngai nĩ wĩitĩrĩirio ngoro-inĩ citũ nĩ ũndũ wa gwĩka ũndũ mwerũ ũrĩa twagĩrĩire. So it is a Jubilee now, but taking a special emphasis on hope. Are we together? Sisters, are we together? Yes. Brothers, are we together? Fathers, are we together? Fathers, are we together? Okay. Father, here, you are not answering. Are we together? Well done. So we are in the Jubilee, but we are concentrating on an aspect, actually a virtue, a theological virtue of hope. We know we have 3 theological virtues: faith, hope, and love. So this time round, we are on hope. Why hope? He says, why hope? It is because of the prevailing situations or phenomena that have been with us. Take, for example, the COVID-19 pandemic and the aftermath. So many people were devastated and died. And kind of we sunk as a universe, as a people. though we could say that we have advanced in technology and science and human innovations, yet when that pandemic hit us, we sank quite down. So hope is necessary. At a time like this one, we need to have hope and then give hope to others. Then issues like conflicts in the world, war, lack of peace. Issues like people having hardships and difficulties in life. The young people in various parts of the world being hopeless in terms of getting determination of their lives, having anywhere they can maybe get employment or occupation or something to make them going. Hope to mind. So he gave us this virtue of hope that we will meditate and concentrate on during this year of Jubilee, ordinary Jubilee. And then he talks of that we cannot have hope without patience. So patience also, he calls her the daughter of hope. Patience becomes the daughter of hope. Because hope is expecting good things to come, even though we don't know, we are not certain about tomorrow. We are not certain about tomorrow. But we can expect better things to come. So patience then becomes part of the awaiting, part of what hope promises us. We await in joyful hope, but also we await with patience. And so that is why since last Christmas Eve, the Pope opened the Holy Door in Vatican, in one of the basilicas, that is St. Peter's Basilica. He opened the first Holy Door. And then 4 other doors were opened, 3 in the other 3 major basilicas, the Basilica of St. Paul, the major basilica of St. John the Lateran, and then very major basilica. And then he opened another door in one of the prisons there in Rome. And so he directed the particular churches, as the dioceses also, bishops, to inaugurate and open the year of the Jubilee on mercy. And that's why here in our diocese, the bishop led us in inaugurating and opening the year of the Jubilee on 5th of January here at the Sacred Heart Cathedral. We started at our nearby school, St. Mary's School, and then we came as pilgrims and entered the cathedral with various rites. So, there will be no other masses or celebrations in the diocese to open or to inaugurate the Jubilee year, because it was to be opened on those 2 levels, the universal level and the particular church level. So what we can have, the bishop told us, are masses or celebrations to receive the year in our various locations, to receive the year of the Jubilee, but not to open officially or inaugurate it. And as such events, we can have explanation explanations or expositions on what the year of the Jubilee entails. Okay? Are we together? And this year will run up until in the dioceses on 28th of December this year. That is when the bishops or proper ordinaries in their various dioceses will be having the closing of the Jubilee year. And then the Universal Church, the Pope will do the closing on 6th of January 2026. So it is our year. So it means also that we will not be having closing celebrations for the year in our various parishes or institutions. What we can have or will be having will be our Thanksgiving celebrations, like masses or other convocations, to give thanks to God, but not to close the year. Are we together? At least not officially. We will not be closing officially. Another important now part of the celebration of this ordinary Jubilee year of hope are Jubilee sites. Jubilee sites. Yani pahali pa Jubilee. These are like our Jubilee boards. In the diocese, we have 2 Jubilee sites. One is the Cathedral Church. And the second one is the Consolata Shrine in Turu Parish. So those are the 2 Jubilee sites in our diocese. And what are these sites? These are places where we can visit either through pilgrimages or any other modules. We can visit these sites while taking into consideration the various conditions that will make our dispositions and our status good to dispose ourselves to receive the graces that come along with the year of the Jubilee. So in our Murang'A Diocese, we have those 2 Jubilee sites. Why the cathedral? Of course, the Cathedral Church is the mother church of all other churches in the diocese. Secondly, it is the seat of the local ordinary. And this is where one of the symbols of the Jubilee year, that is the Holy Cross of Christ, is located. Why Turu? Why Turu? Consolata Shrine. Because historically, that is the root for our faith in this region. So it becomes one of the important sacred worship for our region in terms of Christianity. So Consolata Shrine in Turu is a historical site for our faith, being a place where Consolata missionaries first landed and celebrated Mass and started the work of evangelization in this region. And at Turu, it is at Turu that we have our roots. So those are the 2 sites for the Jubilee. So the above sites can be visited by us, either individually or even as groups. While we may visit as individuals, then we need also to put into mind the various directions that have been given to us. One, we have administrators of the sites. Administrators. And the administrators of these sites are the Dean of Murang'A Deanery and the Parish Priest of Cathedral. parish. So we have the Dean, Father Robert Ngaroro, is the administrator, and Father Joseph Maina, the parish priest of Cathedral, is the assistant administrator of Cathedral Jubilee sites. And then in Fortutho, Consolata Shrine, we have the Dean Fortutho Deanery, Father Josiah Morel, is the administrator, assisted by Father Dirango, the parish priest of Turo Parish. So these are the people, the contact, the people on the ground, and the administrators of these two sites. So in case we have any activity that involves these two Jubilee sites or either of them, so we know who to contact and to seek guidance from. Are we together? Mpo. Another thing about the Jubilee sites is that the bishop has highly recommended that all the diocesan celebrations will be celebrated during this year, will be done in either of these two sites. Are we together? So if we have any, like now we have come as the clergy and religious, the consecrated. This is a diocesan congregation, it's a diocesan event. It will be done in one of the Jubilee sites. Cathedral is one of them. So even for those associations that we have in the diocese, whenever we'll be having diocesan activities, that like celebrations, like the Patron Day celebration, we will say OCWA, YASA, ELC, and the rest. At the diocesan level, these activities, these celebrations have to be arranged and planned in one of these Jubilee sites. Are we together? Unless there is a very, very reasonable and what can I say? Unless there is a very compelling reason that can otherwise dictate that in this celebrated elsewhere. Of course, there should be some consultation if such an occurrence will be there. So, the dean or the administrators of these sites will make the necessary programs and they will effect the programs and make the signages where necessary for pilgrims who would like to visit these sites. And these sites are accessible. They will make sure that these sites are accessible and are taken care of while retaining the solemnity of the Jubilee throughout the year. So they are very important, the people or pastors, the deans of those two sites, and the parish priest. They are the administrators. So they will be coordinating and facilitating those activities for the benefit of the pilgrims who will be visiting those sites. So Jubilee sites are particularly for pilgrimages and not for any other or every Jubilee activity. This means that celebrations and other activities may also take place elsewhere. Take for example, a particular parish would like to have a Jubilee of a particular group. You don't have necessarily have to go to the cathedral or Consolata Shrine in Jubilee. We can have it at our various parishes or deaneries as need may be. Are we together? Okay. We have characteristics the Jubilee year. In Murang'A, we are used to pillars. So we can talk of 7 pillars or characteristics of the Jubilee year. These characteristics, they are universal. 1 is pilgrimage. 2 is holy door. 3 is reconciliation. 4 is prayer. 5 is liturgy. 6 is profession of faith. And 7, indulgence. So those are the 7 characteristics or pillars, we may use that term, for the Jubilee year. So pilgrimage, movement, journey. Second one is holy door, the gate. Jesus is the gate to the sheepfold, he says in chapter 10 of the Gospel of John. Then there's the reconciliation. We talked of when we were reading Leviticus chapter 25. It is a time to restore relationships. So reconciliation. The 4th one is prayer. Of course, one of the basic characteristics of our faith, especially when we have a special thing like the Jubilee, has to be prayer. We have to intensify our prayer life. Then the 5th one is liturgy. And we are supposed to have various liturgical functions and exercises that will benefit us. Because the year is not only there to be seen or to be done or to be experienced, but it has to benefit the people in charge. Then the 61 is the profession of faith. We are professing our faith. We are firm. That is why we have the cross of Christ. We are firm as believers who are celebrating our redemption. So, profession of faith. And this is one also the character. And then the last one, the 7th pillar or the characteristic is the indulgence. It is what? It is what? Indulgence. So this is the time to receive indulgences from the merits of Christ. Theologically, the priests who are here, do we have an expert in doctrine can explain to us the indulgences, the plenary and the partial indulgences. So it is a time for the remission of punishment due to sin for us and for the souls in purgatory. So they emanate from the merits of Christ, what He merited for us on the cross. So it is a time for indulgences. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. Okay. Holy door. So I had talked about the holy door and said that unlike the other extraordinary Jubilee of Mercy, where Pope had given okay or permission that dioceses may have as many as they would manage holy doors for pilgrimages and pilgrims. In this Jubilee year of hope, the holy doors are only in Rome. The 5 holy doors, 4 in the 4 major basilicas, the one in the prisons, in one of the prisons. So during this Jubilee year, according to the rule of indiction, This is the document that he wrote concerning calling for the year of the Jubilee, space not on food it guides that the Holy Door will be opened only in the four major basilicas and one in the prisons. That's why we don't have a Holy Door in our diocese. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Okay. So, what are the activities that we envisage to have? Okay. One, the activities are organized around the 7 pillars, the 7 characteristics. And then here we are offering some practical pastoral suggestions that can be done at various levels in our diocese. One, on pilgrimages. We have said that this is a year for us to have pilgrimages. We are called to move. We are called to move from our comfort zones. We move from our comfort zones and go out to encounter God. So that is what pilgrimage entails. We move, it's a movement, it's a travel, it's a journey from our comfort zone and then going to meet, to have an encounter with God, to have an encounter with His creation, with His people, where we are in hope, where we are in faith and in charity, with contrite hearts. So pilgrimages are movements from towards. And when we are on that movement, then we have contrite hearts. We dispose ourselves. That is why we have also the other aspect of reconciliation. We are moving from our convenience of the daily life. So it means we plan for pilgrimages. We can move to the various, we can go for pilgrimages to our two Jubilee sites or even outside our diocese. We have other shrines and holy places that we can make our movement towards. Like the CWA last Saturday, they had a pilgrimage to the National Shrine, Subukia, Marian National Shrine in Subukia or in Subukia. We can also go to other Jubilee sites and other holy places, like the Resurrection Garden in Nairobi, like Omaro in Machakos, and any other in the country, or even outside the country. Regionally, you can also access Uganda. It's called what? Uganda Matters. It's called, that place is called number one. We can go to number one, or even Kidero in Rwanda. We can also go to the Holy Land, or even to Roma, etc. So pilgrimages, we move from where we are comfortable. This year, we will be having a pilgrimage as a diocese on the 29th of June. This is the time we'll be celebrating our family day as a diocese, and the bishop has directed that we'll be going to the Consolata Shrine too. So, mark in your diaries that this year, during our family day, the Western family day, you'll be making a pilgrimage to Tudo. This one, at least, we have one have one. We can have others as congregations, as communities, as parishes, as institutions, as we may be able to prepare a plan. And providentially, this day coincides with the day that the first Mass was celebrated in this region in 1902. That is 29th day of June 1902. So even during the Jubilee year of 2000, we also celebrated Mass there on 29th of June. So it is a providential occurrence. So let us, as agents of evangelization, because we, the priests, the brothers and sisters, we are agents of evangelization by virtue of our status, either clerical or religious. Let us help our people during this year. Remember, we may not be as strong as we are come the year 2050 to celebrate another Jubilee year. So, or we may not be the way we are, or some of us may be elsewhere. So, we make the best from this Jubilee year. Tuko pamoja. And one of them is pilgrimages. Let's organize for pilgrimages for our people. Let them also see the uniqueness of this year. Let them also experience and harvest, if we can use that term, really the graces of the year. And we are the people to drive these programs. If our people, our lay faithful are to benefit, we are to show them some guidance. So let's organize for pilgrimages. What about reconciliation as another characteristic? Increase and a plan for catechesis. Let us teach people on reconciliation. Here, not necessarily or not only the sacrament of reconciliation, but reconciliation in general. And then